Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Hey, Marta.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Perfect. You know where we're at? Somewhere in a very tiny park. Somewhere in South Kensington in London. Yes, people, today we're in London. I arrived yesterday and I was very much looking forward to our conversation.
Me too.
And how did I end up here on a bench in London? Well, Marta reached out. We connected. She was very kind, very lovely about the Good Place channel. And she said, hey, just want to say thank you for the interview series that created. And I want to be involved. I was like, okay, let's have an interview then. And I want to hear everything about you. So here we are. For everyone who doesn't know anything about this podcast or interview series, it's actually having conversations with people on a public bench about talking about life and about the place they live in, and actually why they moved here, why they live here, what makes them stay here, and just to fantasize about life. And it's our mission to share some inspiration. Like, okay, how do you land? How do you adapt? How do you build a new life? So I'm here to find out more about Marta's life here in London. And it's enough about the introduction. I would love to give you the floor to quickly say hi, introduce
Hello.
yourself, and who are you, and what should people know about you?
Thank you so much for having me. And yes, I did say thank you for doing this series because I thought it was a brilliant idea. My name is Marta, and although in Spanish you would say Marta,
I did say
this
Marta.
is like the British version.
Marta.
Marta, and I live in London. I've been living here for 4 years, and I love it so far. Really good place. And yeah, I think it was just very interesting to find your podcast because I was telling you before, I think when I just moved here, it would have been really helpful to find something like this so that I would feel like I wasn't the only one going through some stuff, because moving places is really tough sometimes. So yeah, well done. I think it's really a brilliant idea.
Well, I'm just here giving people the opportunity to share their stories. So I do feel like it's a collective effort. So, not all props to me. It's really up to also to the beautiful people here to share and be that vulnerable to share their story. But Marta, why did you leave Spain? I mean, why London?
Well, I think it was a combination of factors, really. I always wanted to live abroad at some point. I did live in Ghent in Belgium for like 6 months when I was still in uni. And I feel like having that experience kind of made it a bit less scary. And I also got really curious about, discovering other places. And I thought London was a good option because I saw a job interview, so that helped.
Okay.
But also because obviously speaking English is much easier than Dutch, I'm sorry to say.
Can imagine.
Yeah.
As a Spanish, yes, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't learn much Dutch when I was in Belgium or French. But yeah, so I decided to come here because after I finished uni, I was working, but more as a freelance. And in Spain, it's a bit tough at the moment. Well, it's been for a few years. For young people, I think it takes time to get there. And I don't know, I thought now that I have the opportunity, before I build something here, I have the opportunity to go somewhere else, explore. Otherwise, if you settle down and you have your own business or you build your life there, then you never leave. So I thought, now or never. So I came here, and yeah, it's been great so far.
You don't regret it?
No, I don't regret it. It's been tough at times, I think I was quite unlucky because I moved just before the pandemic. And I did have time to break my leg just before then, though. So that was also like an extra handicap. But yeah, I mean, I think it doesn't matter where you go or, who you are. It's going to be challenging because, you're living your whole comfort zone, literally, physically. You're leaving your family, your friends, your job.
Yeah.
So you have to.
You didn't know anyone around here?
I did know a couple of friends, but they lived quite far. They lived on the other side of London, and it was like we've been in touch and stuff, but it wasn't like you can just hang out all the time because it takes like a couple of hours to travel and we're all busy. So now I see them more, but at the time I was a bit isolated because I was living a bit more outside of London, really. So yeah, didn't really have that many friends.
Yeah.
I made some friends there, but yeah, it's definitely hard.
How were you able to connect and make friends initially when you came here?
Well, actually, thanks to this lady who I was working with, I was working in a private practice at the time, and one of the ladies working in reception, she was really lovely to me. And when I came to do the interview, I obviously didn't have a flat or anything yet because I didn't know if I got the job. And then when they said, "Oh, we would like to offer you the job, happy days," then she said,
"Happy days."
Yeah, it was good news.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, I'll be happy to help you find a place to rent if you need any help." So she went to the viewing of this flat that I rented. So I rented it through her in Spain. And then she was living really close by in this place that I told you about. It's like a small village called Chim, lovely place. Chim village. And so basically she just took me out to the local pub and introduced me to everyone.
In the pub, yeah?
Yeah, in the pub. So that was quite funny because at the time my English was definitely a lot worse. And I was just smiling and nodding along quite a lot because they were all making jokes and, "Oh, new girl in town," and all these things. And I was just like, didn't know what to do, really.
They made you drink Guinness as well?
They did, definitely did. I drank a lot at the time, yeah. Totally forced to do that. But yeah, and then, I just started going to that pub every Saturday when I was off, had nothing else to do. And because I knew some people there and you had a lot of people just going there every weekend, it was easy to go on your own. Because I think otherwise it's quite hard to just sit in a bar on your own and just approach someone and be like,
"Yeah,
you want to be my friend?"
Yeah.
You can
but
do
at
that.
least you have that one pub where you at least know you expect people to bump into people you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful because then I was friends with the manager who was a bit more my age, and then he had some other friends, so I started joining them when they were going out. And then the pandemic happened, and that's another story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to make friends when you're older, and I mean when you're not studying and you have that sort of network through classmates or flatmates. I met some other people through sharing houses. That's also a good way. But still, you can get lucky or you can not get so lucky. So it depends.
And how is it in the UK or in London? Was it like culturally? Is it easy to connect? Is London easy to connect with people?
I think yes. But I feel like when you arrive, it might be like a bit of a scary place because it's really big and people are very rushed. They're busy. They don't stop. So I remember having to travel to do some training, and I was in the middle of like the tube station with a huge backpack and like, sorry, please can you tell me?
It's like a movie, you know?
Yeah, literally.
the Spanish
Spanish
girl.
in the wild, yeah.
Spanish in the wild with a backpack.
Yeah.
Somewhere stuck in the tube.
Yeah, literally. And they were all just like pushing me and nobody would stop. And I was like, oh God, nobody's going to help me. So yeah, it can be scary. But then I feel like when you get over that first stage of, fear that you're like, oh, this is a really big place, then you get to know the people. And in general, I would say everybody is lovely. Mm-hmm. I've had so many nice experiences with lots of people that I've met working or meeting through other people. And yeah, I think in general, people are lovely. They have a very nice culture. They're always interested to know where you're from and why you're here. And yeah, I think it's great. It's a really open-minded place, I think, because you can just, be from anywhere in the world, do whatever you want to do.
You don't feel Spanish around here?
Well, I mean...
I was saying that...
Define Spanish.
That's right. No, I was just saying that, even you already have a very nice accent. That's what your English is really... Yeah, you really have a nice British accent. Yeah. Probably mostly because you have a English boyfriend.
Well, he will be really happy that you've said that, because he says...
You're welcome. You're welcome.
He says that as well. He says that he forgets sometimes that I'm Spanish, and he assumes that I know stuff about the English culture that I don't, because I didn't grow up here. But I don't know why is that. I feel like I've definitely improved my English a lot since I've been living here. Also, my job, I haven't said it, but I work as a podiatrist in a clinic, so I see lots of patients every day. They're all from all over the place. They have different accents, they're different ages. So that was definitely very good for me at the beginning. It was quite challenging, but I eventually got there. So I think that really helped. And then I don't really know why I have this accent and not more Spanish accent. Sorry to disappoint.
For me, yeah, we gotta cut the episode short now because I expected the Spanish accent.
I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Oh, no.
I do sound Spanish sometimes, though.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay.
If I'm on the phone with my mom in Spanish.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Next 2 hours, I'll be really Spanish.
Temper.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
We're in a park and we're surrounded by
dogs.
Yeah, a lot of dogs and pigeons, and there's a lot of things happening. It's a weekend.
Yeah,
it's Saturday,
Saturday.
Yeah. But Marta, it's nice to hear how you've landed in London. Do you see yourself already growing old here as well already? You think you're gonna stay in London?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I would be happy to. I don't feel like I want to go back home right now. I don't know for how.
Still home?
Yeah, it's still home.
Yeah?
Yeah, my family's there.
Okay.
So for me, it's still home. Even though this feels like home now, I think when I talk about home is Málaga, definitely.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. I think at the moment, my happiness is here. And what I want to do, and job-wise, but also in terms of like things that I'm interested in, and music and stuff. I just have more opportunities here, and I feel already like I belong here in a weird way. So yeah, I don't think I want to leave London anytime soon, but I'm open to what life can bring. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah,
why is London a good place?
Well, I think that's a difficult question for me, because I feel like London, it's been a good and a bad place for me. So even though it's the same city, and yeah, of course, it's huge, you have lots of people, lots of cultural stuff, lots of bars, museums, anything you can think of. So that in that way is great. Very good transport, all that stuff is great. But I think you can be in the same place and it can be a good place for you, or it can be a bad place. And definitely at the beginning, at times, it was a bad place. Because I was very far away from my family for very long.
Lonely.
I was lonely, and the pandemic wasn't easy because I couldn't see them for like almost 2 years. So, you know, I think it's that sort of duality of having to be careful with your mental state, which I did learn thanks to that experience. Because I feel like when you experience that, then you realize how important it is to be in a good place mentally, so that you can actually enjoy the good place you live in. So yeah, I think London is a great place now for me.
It's interesting as well that listening to you, it also seems that even though how hard it was the beginning, you needed it
Yeah.
to start to appreciate London more now than ever before.
Yeah, I was a completely different person before all that. Like,
Okay.
I think it was great that I had to go through all these challenges, because that made me, well, pushed me, better say, to just grow into someone different, maybe more mature, or just maybe more aware of other things, I would say. But yeah, definitely was good experience in the end. I think anything bad that happens to you in the end ends up being good, because you will survive it, and yeah, you'll be a better version of yourself afterwards.
Yeah, it shapes you. Absolutely. And then you have to also share it with others in your life that you meet along the way.
Absolutely.
That hop on your train and are part of your life.
Yeah.
And you can share these same things with each other. Yeah.
Definitely.
Interesting.
What about you, though?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Because you've lived in different places.
True.
Have they all been good? Or have they all been good but not all the time? I'm interested to know.
Yeah. Well, sometimes these places were part of a phase in life, and suddenly starts to be super windy. But and they make sense in that particular place in life.
Yep.
Yeah, I grew up in Munich. Yeah, I mean, I didn't choose. It just happened to be the place. So you just, you don't know any else any better. I don't know. Sometimes it feels that now you grow older, all these decisions become more conscious or something. You know?
Yeah.
Why did I decide to move to Amsterdam at one point in my life? Yeah, it just happened. You do it. And then you do it, and then
It's done.
It's done. Yeah. Why did somebody move from Malaga to London?
Oh.
You know, I could choose warmer places.
I know, everybody tells me that. It's not fair.
No. It's not only about climate and the weather and all that stuff, but there's so many options.
Yes.
And some, I don't know, I would love to do all of them at one point. Just to know, okay, I lived in London. There are people that make it a sport. They just go places because they want to have lived in much as places as possible. Yeah. I don't think that's my objective. It just needs to, you're looking maybe seeking for that sweet spot.
Yeah.
As you know, now I have a family, now I have a kid, and you know, that also defines what place is a good place at the moment.
Yeah, because it has to be good for them as well.
Yeah, it's not only my own decision.
Yep.
First you make those decisions only solely for yourself, and now you have to make a collective decisions, or at least ask them.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, well, mine is too young to answer that, so she has nothing to say. But of course you think about these kind of things. But I do. I think even through these conversations with people on the public bench, I know there is not just one good place.
Yeah, definitely.
And I completely agree with you. The whole mental state and mental well-being is very driving force of what a good place is and whether you are in a good place.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's just that you can have just one experience that changes your perspective, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you see everything differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very
It makes
powerful.
you decide to move, maybe even, or
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm open to move to other places. I don't think I want to just travel the world constantly. I'm too lazy for that. That's too much effort. But yeah, I want to see other places. Definitely travel as well. But I would like to live somewhere else at some point.
just to have a bit of a comparison. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and also because I think when you are outside of your bubble, then all of a sudden all these opportunities and points of view and experiences and people
Yeah.
just come up, and then yeah, it just changes the way you see things
Yeah.
forever. So the more you see, the more it changes you, and I think it makes the world look smaller in
Yeah.
a way,
Yeah.
because it doesn't seem like that far away or that scary, like, oh, I'm not going to move to the other side of the world, that's too far. Once you move somewhere, and then moving to the next place, it seems like easier.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And it's nice to meet new people
definitely.
with different backgrounds, different upbringings.
Yep,
I think they will enrich your life as well.
yep, definitely. I've met lovely, lovely people here, and not just friends, but also patients. Working in the NHS, I got to see like a quite good picture of England, well, London, but
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you see people from all kinds of places,
Society, yeah.
different backgrounds, different situations, and it definitely is a very good experience, because it makes you, I don't know, stop and think you're not the only person here.
Yeah.
Life is not just the way you experience it. There's other options and other things going on as well. So yeah, I think it just is good for you.
Yeah. It's nice to have such a kiddo. Nah.
Bye.
It's nice to have such a job where you're so society facing, and get to know the world around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also one of the reasons I started this channel, because I want to meet all these different people. I cannot have the entire society on a public bench,
No.
but at least can have, at least could say, yeah, I met different people. Not
Yeah.
just people in my own bubble, but even without, even outside of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for example, recently I was traveling. Ooh.
Okay.
Recently I traveled to Thailand,
Okay.
and that was a hell of an experience. It was really good.
Uh-huh.
But I was really excited to go there, because it was like really getting out of my environment. Because
Culture shock.
Yeah, culture shock massively, and it was just so interesting to talk to people there, because I think you can have like this conception of what their lives are like, or what they do, what they like, their hobbies, but you don't really know. And then you talk to someone and they tell you, oh, I'm from this country and I moved here when I was this young and now I do this, and it's just so interesting, because it makes people more human,
Yeah.
more like you, like,
Yeah.
oh, I could have done that, that could have been me. So
You need to have these conversations.
Ah?
You need to have those conversations.
definitely.
You need to seek for these kind of, asking those kind of questions.
yeah,
We can just live next to each other,
and ignore each other.
and ignore each other, or we show interest. That's why I think also a public bench is beautiful, because, you should go sit next to a stranger one time and just ask him, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah,
Be that listening ear and have a conversation. But even abroad, what you say?
yeah.
I would love to know how people live in Bangkok,
Well, it's
is
really interesting place.
Is it hard? Is it tough? Is it easy? Who knows? One day I'll be talking to somebody on a public bench there. You have that conversation, like why Bangkok is a good place.
Sounds like an excuse to travel to Bangkok.
I think so.
But yeah, definitely you should do that. I think it's just nice to step out of that surface kind of
Yeah.
relationship you get with people, because, you know, like obviously you're not going to be bothering strangers all the time.
No.
But recently I had this experience one day going to work, and like I go to this coffee place and there's this lady all the time. And once we had a bit of a chat, it was just like, oh, how are you? Yeah, good, good. And then, oh, hi.
Hey, doggy. Hi, doggy.
Oh,
Yeah,
hello.
hi.
Hello. Oop.
No worries.
Lovely. But yeah, so she was just really nice the other day, and she was just asking me how my Christmas was, and I found out that she was from Italy and all these things. It was a really nice chat. And then I went to the other shop, and then the guy there was also like, oh, I know what you want, you always buy the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's nice once you know, you kind of, maybe not the first time you see them, but when you always
Yeah.
go to the same places and stuff, just ask how they are, or
Becoming the regular.
have a good
Yeah.
day and stuff like that. Just, you know, I feel like it's nice.
That's your community. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Nice. Marta, we're heading towards the end of this show.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Otherwise, people are gonna run away, you know? You need to. Sometimes fun things only last for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I know. It's
The
life.
sun's coming through, it's beautiful. I always like to ask people to share something valuable at the end, like something insightful, like a tip that you have to close off the episode with. So,
Okay.
and in the meantime, I'm going to say thank you to the audience, to the listeners.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to thank you for your time
Thank you for having me.
on your Saturday. The foot doctor is off this weekend.
Oh, yes.
And I was spending on a public bench here talking. It was very lovely. It was very chill.
Likewise.
It was very, as in, I don't know, been talking or got to know you, I don't know, many more times. It's not just the first time today, but feels like we've
Yeah.
been each other, I don't know, quite some years, I don't know, like crazy. You have something you would like to share with the audience, with the listeners?
I think so. I think I would like to say that if you're going through a process of adapting to not just a new place, but maybe a new situation, just hang in there and just get nice people around you to help you and work on yourself. Just focus on that, and eventually things get much better. It's always like that, I think. So I feel like, you know, just don't get down about having a bit of a tough time at the moment. It will change.
Go for it. Thank you so much, guys. See you soon on a new bench somewhere. In which city? We'll find out. All the best. Take care. Have a nice day. Ciao.
Bye bye.